What's up guys, it's Mike T Hip Hop, and in today's video I have another top hip hop albums of the month, this time for the month of August. There's a lot of albums that came out this month, so if you guys think I left any off that you might enjoy, just let me know in the comments below. Starting off at number 5, we have Dave East, Paranoia, A True Story. So in my most underrated rappers video, I did talk about how I was really excited for this next Dave East album, just based on how much I loved his last mixtape, Kyrie Chanel. But I do have to say, I probably enjoyed that mixtape a little bit more than this album. On Kyrie Chanel, I really liked that trap-sounding production that he was going for. I just think it complemented him very well. On this new album, he goes for more jazz-type production, which is just okay to me. He does do it well on a lot of songs, but I could have done a lot more with that trap-sounding production that I'm used to. But with all that aside, Dave East still brings really nice bars and some really nice flow that everyone is used to him usually having. He also has a lot of big name features on this album. He has a song with Jeezy, which I really enjoyed. He does have a track with Nas, but Nas doesn't actually have a verse, which I hoped he would have, so that was kind of disappointing. I surprisingly liked the song with Wiz Khalifa. He had a track on here with French Montana. I really liked the beat on that song, but I probably could have done without the French Montana verse. And the Chris Brown song, I wasn't really a big fan of that one at all. I could have done without that as well. But overall, it is a very solid album. My favorite tracks on this were Paranoia, The Hated, Phone Jumpin', Wanna Be Me, and Have You Ever. At number 4, we have AP Twelvyy, 12. Now, when it comes to ASAP Mob, the most popular two in the group are, of course, ASAP Ferg and ASAP Rocky, mainly because they seem to be the most talented. Now, when I first started hearing Twelvyy on all the ASAP Mob mixtape and albums, I really didn't see anything too special. I didn't hate him, but to me, he was just okay. So that's why I was really surprised about how much I really liked this album, and after listening to it, I definitely have to say that he's definitely my third favorite of the group now. As far as the album goes, it definitely has a classic New York sound to it, and also has some nice, really dreary type production. I think Twelvyy also has a lot of impressive bars and some really nice flow that I wasn't really used to seeing from him on the ASAP Mob mixtapes and albums. He also has a lot of really good features on this. He of course has members of ASAP Mob. The song with Rocky's really good. The song with Ferg might be my favorite on the album. It just has a really nice beat, and Ferg definitely brings that energy. He also got Joey Badass on this album. He has a really nice verse, and as well as Flatbush Zombies, they do their thing as well. If you're a fan of ASAP Mob, definitely make sure to check this out. Twelvyy put in some really good work, and also if you just like New York hip hop, you'll probably like this as well. My favorite tracks on this were Strapped, Hop Out, A Glorious Death, Riviera, and Periodic Table. At number 3, we have Action Bronson, Blue Chip 7000. Now, I actually did sleep on this album quite a bit. I didn't actually listen to the entire thing until a week after the album actually came out, and that's just because I really had no reason to be excited for it. I liked a lot of Action Bronson's previous work, but his last album, Mr. Wonderful, I was kind of disappointed with, so I didn't really see a reason to be excited about this one. Now, this is definitely a big step up for Mr. Wonderful, especially production-wise. That's probably my favorite part about the entire album. He has a lot of gorgeous-sounding beats. His producers did a really good job on this. And of course, with Action Bronson, he's going to bring those really funny, enjoyable bars, and as well as really funny skits. He had a skit on here with his mom, which was super funny. I would say the only downside about this album is it definitely could have been a lot longer, and some of the songs could also be a lot longer. But overall, really solid album. I enjoyed it. My favorite tracks on this thing were Wolfpack, The Chairman's Intent, Hot Pepper, Let It Rain, and 924 7000. At number 2, we have ASAP Ferg, Still Strivin'. So this is the second ASAP member we have on this list, this time being one of the bigger members of the group, ASAP Ferg. And I believe this is his first project since the last album that he put out, Always Strive and Prosper, which for me and a lot of other people found really disappointing in that he went a little bit too commercial with that album. So going into this album, I was really hoping for that more of the Trap Lord sound, and I can definitely say I was happy with what I got. For the most part, the production on this album goes back to that hard trap sound that ASAP Ferg is most known for. He also gets a little truthful with the last track on this album, Tango, which I really enjoyed. And lyrically, this is definitely a step up from his last album. However, I do think this album will be hit or miss for a lot of people just because there are so many features and a lot of artists on here some really do not like. Some of the features on here that most people should enjoy are the Meek Mill feature, the Cameron feature, and of course ASAP Rocky. But he does have artists on here like Lil Yachty, Nav, Famous Dex, Rich the Kid, Playboi Carti, and Made in Tokyo. And those artists do have a lot of haters. Me personally, the only tracks I didn't really like was the one with Nav and probably the one with Playboi Carti. But I surprisingly liked both of the tracks with Famous Dex, especially the Mattress remix. That one went super hard. And also the track with Made in Tokyo surprised me as well. But I did really enjoy this mixtape, and it's definitely getting me excited for A$AP Ferg's next album. My favorite tracks on this were Trap in a Dream, Rubber Band Man, Plain Jane, the Mattress remix, One Night Savage, and Tango. Now, before I get into the number 1 spot, I do want to give a few honorable mentions, starting off with xxxtentacion's new album, 17. I wasn't really personally the biggest fan. I did think there were a few good tracks, but a lot of people seemed to be really surprised with this album and enjoyed it. Also, Lil Uzi Vert's Love is Rage 2. I did think there are a lot of good songs on here, especially the song Neon Guts with Pharrell. I enjoyed that, so check that out as well. Also, Ugly God had an album, The Booty Tape. I did enjoy this. I thought it was a really fun listen. Nothing too serious, but definitely check it out if you haven't. And at number 1, we have Brockhampton Saturation 2. Now, this comes just a few months after Saturation 1, which is an album I put on my Best Hip Hop Albums of June video. And since then, I've grown to like that album even more, and it's quickly become one of my favorite albums of the year. And the thing I love so much about Brockhampton as a group is they are super different, especially production-wise. Some artists in the group might stick out more than others, but talent-wise, they're all very close to each other. In terms of which album I liked more, Saturation 1 or Saturation 2, it is very hard to decide because both albums are very similar, which isn't a bad thing. They both have a lot of singing tracks and a lot of rap tracks. I think Saturation 2, though, might have a little bit more rap tracks than 1, so that I definitely do like. And just like Saturation 1, Saturation 2 has that great production, everyone has really good verses, and I think one of my favorite parts is the hooks on a lot of the tracks are really catchy. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.